Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's that time of the month again. We're doing our February reading recap. I read 5 books this month, so I'm gonna get into those shortly. Before I do, I went to a used book sale recently, so I thought now would be an appropriate time to do a little haul. So first I have Queen of Storms by Raymond Feist. I have the first book to this series. I don't have the second one though, and it's in really good condition, so happy to find that one. Then Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, which I've had that on my list for a while now. And then Autograph Man by Zadie Smith. And this one I think is a library binding. Yeah, it is. It got weeded from my public library, so that's fun. And then I had a free book through Thrift Books, so I got this. It's a book about pirates, it's nonfiction. I'm gonna read it this year because I'm doing research on pirates for a book I'm writing. You'll see that one later in a future recap. Not sure when I'm gonna read it, but it is on my list for this year. So, new books. Love new books. I spent way too much money this month. Oh well. Actually, not way too much money. I got 3 of those books for $4. And the other one I think was a free book. So like actually I spent maybe like $5 on books. Because I'm cool. If you watched my recap last month, I have Kindle Unlimited right now. I got a free trial back during Black Friday. This was my last free month, so in March I'm only paying for 1 month to finish up the books I was reading, and then I'm gonna start reading my physical books. So I don't have any props for the 5 books I read. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it after this month. I have maybe 4 books left I need to read, and then we're done. So I read 5 books this month. I'm gonna rank them and go through them, give them a little review, give them a star rating from my least favorite to my favorite. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 5 on the list is one that I am very, very sad to give this rating. It is The Sirens by Emilia Hart. Give this 3 stars. The basic premise of it is that this girl who's in college, she tries to kill this boy she slept with, I think. And so she freaks out. She goes to find her older sister to be like, hey, what the hell do I do? Her sister is not at her house. So she starts trying to uncover the mystery of where her sister is gone. And there's like magical realism stuff happening, and we get flashbacks to these 2 Irish sisters who have been charged, and I forget what they were charged with, and sent to Australia as prisoners. So we get flashbacks from them, and then it's like matching up with what's happening to the main character in present day. And you can kind of guess what's happening considering it's called The Sirens and there are mermaids on the cover. The story was very good. I was very into it. I liked the way things notched together. That was really interesting. The execution was nowhere near Wayward. Nowhere near Wayward, and I adored Wayward when I read it, her first book. This just, it felt rushed, and it felt like she was trying to do what Wayward did again, and I feel like that was just like keeping her in a box and preventing her from writing the story she actually wanted to write. I'll limit my beef with this book to 2 things. First of all, part 3, mostly unnecessary. And everything that happened could have and probably should have been summed up with 2 chapters. 80% of what happened in part 3 was not necessary. 2, Jess's diary pissed me off. There were sections of this book, there were chapters that were diary entries. It felt way too narrative. It did not feel like epistolary, basically. Because there were passages, and I'm not going to do this justice, I'm not going to read them properly because I don't have the book anymore, but basically it would be Jess writing in her private diary saying things like, this is Max, he's my best friend and I've known him forever and I would do anything for him, and he and I did this and this and this on this day long, long ago, and that has cemented our bond, and this is all important information for you, the reader, to know. First of all, that's not how anyone writes in their diary. I'm not writing a little book in my journal so that someone else can come along and read it and understand what's happening. So it would have been way better if Jess had just been like, Max and I did X, Y, and Z. And then Lucy, the main character who was reading it, went, oh yeah, Max, her best friend, we know him, da-da-da-da-da. Like, the main character in the actual narrative needed to be doing that explanation, not the diary. That pissed me off a lot and just dragged me out of the book multiple times. So I gave that 3 stars. It wasn't bad, but it needed to go through a couple more drafts. It had not reached its final form yet, which it made me really sad because I did really adore Wayward. So number 4 on the list, which honestly 2 to 4, all of these were at the same level and I adored all of them. It was very hard to rank them, but I decided to put at number 4, Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zeng by Kylie Lee Baker. This is a horror supernatural about ghosts and true crime a little bit at kind of the height of the COVID pandemic. Cora, the main character, she's living in New York City. She works as a crime scene cleaner, and she and her coworkers are noticing that there are a lot of Asian American folks being murdered in their homes because of the xenophobia. So at the same time, her sister has just like been brutally murdered and she's haunted by her ghost. I don't know, I feel like a lot of media that comes out that tries to be like, oh yeah, this happened during the COVID pandemic, feels very just surreal and kind of kitschy. This did not. This was like, I don't know, it just felt very grounded in reality. Like it was engaging with some issues that I feel like we haven't really acknowledged post like 2021. Finished it in 3 or 4 days. Like I flew through it. It was very good, and the ending was like so unsettling and unsatisfying in a way, but it's also like I wasn't even sure how you could end a book like that. So it definitely it made me think. It was really good, and the scary thing about it weren't the ghosts, let's put it that way. I give it 4 stars. I would recommend it. So at number 3, we have one that really surprised me. Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. I gave this 4 stars. It's YA horror. This boy Andrew is at this like private boarding school in the woods, and monsters start attacking the school, and he and his best friend have to fight them. It's very gay, very like dark academia, and very like goblin core. The body horror in it made me want to vomit. I've said this before on the channel, I'm not the biggest fan of YA. I kind of go into YA expecting certain like elements because I just feel like YA is so trope heavy because of the market that you're selling to, and I'm no longer in that market, so I just kind of am like, yeah, whatever. This, I kind of at first was like, okay, whatever, I'm not really attached to any of these characters, but the horror in it, I had to watch like TikToks for a while so that I could go to sleep. Like, and then the plot twist at the end, which I'm not gonna spoil, that like actually got me. I was not expecting that. So I give it 4 stars. It was great. If like Appalachia horror appeals to you, I recommend reading it. It was great. I definitely am gonna read more by C.G. Drews, even though, like, again, YA isn't usually my cup of tea, but this, Drews, you know what you're doing. That's all I'll say. So number 2 is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is the second book in the Poppy War trilogy. I gave The Poppy War first place last month. Again, very good. I finished it in the car on a road trip with my mom, and whenever, you know, that thing happens about the 90% mark after the final battle, I audibly gasped and my mom went, "Are you okay?" So that'll tell you. God, it just, I'm so glad that it's gone. The series is going the direction it is, and I'm very excited to read the 3rd book. I'm a little scared. I'm a lot scared, actually, but I am looking forward to it. So if you've been, you know, wondering about the Poppy War trilogy and wanting to read it, please do. Please do. Oh my god. And I guess I'm just like having this comparison because they both take place in in China during a war. But you know that moment in Mulan, the original, where they're singing their song about a girl worth fighting for, and then they reach the battlefield and the tone of the movie instantly shifts? That's what this book feels like. Like, the first book, it's like, oh, we're at school, it's very tough and we're competing, and then all of a sudden the war happens and it's like none of what you read about matters. You know? All these rivalries, all these competitions, all these like loyalty bonds, all of a sudden it's like none of this matters. All that matters is staying alive. And that like tone shift is just genuinely what I love about this series. Like, it just, like, things get real. Things get very, very real, and they stay real. And yeah, it just, oh my god. I'm scared to read the third book. Anyway, I gave that 4 stars. So number 1, my favorite book this month, is Snake Eater by Kingfisher. I love Kingfisher. I've read 4 of her books now, I believe. I gave this 4.5. I had a delight reading this book. Absolute delight. She is so good at balancing like comedy and like friendships and relationship and character building with horror. Like, so perfect. Like, the minute that it feels like it's too much, there's some comedic relief. Like, the pacing of it is incredible. So, Snake Eater is this woman basically leaves her emotionally abusive partner and goes out to the American Southwest to find her aunt. She finds out her aunt has passed away, and all the townspeople are like, yeah, no one's living in her house. Just take her house. Going out there, clean it up, it's fine. So she and her dog move into this house, and it's the desert. Weird shit happens in the desert. Weird shit starts happening to her. And it gets really spooky scary. Delightful. If you like cozy horror, I recommend her. I will say, now that I've read 4 of her books, I can definitely tell like what tropes and character archetypes she's drawn to. But I'm not complaining about it, because I also like those tropes. So if you read Snake Eater and like it, I also recommend Nettle and Bone. Very similar things happening, it's just more medieval horror. But yeah, I love Kingfisher, and I had a great time reading this book, and I think I talked my mom into reading this book. She hasn't read it yet, so I'm having to like resist the urge to every like 5 minutes go meet motherfucker. Again, I gave that 4.5 stars. I loved it. It was great. So yeah, those are my 5 books. I can't, while I'm here with you guys, show you what I'm planning on reading in March. So, Burning God, the 3rd book in the Poppy War trilogy, gonna read that. I'm gonna read A Sorceress Comes to Call by Kingfisher, because I've been wanting to read that for a while, and like, I have free access to it. Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. And then I'm reading The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne right now. I'm about 16% in, according to my Kindle. I'm okay with it. I'm kind of not sure about it right now. Like, there are some cool fantasy elements, but I don't really care about any of the characters, so if that has to change for me to want to read the other books, so we'll see. You'll hear about it next month. So yes, those are my books. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you read in February in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Please like this video. You can also subscribe. Come hang out. We have fun. We do reading content. I also do crocheting and crafting. Sometimes I bake. Sometimes I write. So maybe you'll hear about the pirate book in the future. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!